Today, developer Polyarc announced that Moss Book 2 will be launching exclusively on PlayStation VR on Thursday, March 31st. There's a ton of traditional sequel things you should expect, like new enemies, bigger environments, and a longer campaign. But luckily I was able to sit down with Coolie Calihan, the principal artist on Moss Book 2. So let me pass the mic over to him, and he can tell you everything you need to know about Quill's upcoming adventure.
Moss Book 2 picks up precisely in the place that the first game stopped. So Quill has been on this hero's journey to find her uncle Argus, and no spoilers, but she reaches her destination, finds her uncle, and they embark on the next stage of their quest, which is to explore the castle and find out how to take down the arcane. There's a lot of story, there's a lot of dialogue. You'll be meeting old friends, and you'll be making new allies, and that will be that'll happen all in the game. But then there's also the library that players will remember from the first game. The library is getting updated as well, and there's going to be new. The library is going to be a bit more dynamic than it has been in the past, and so we do a lot of storytelling in that environment as well. There's definitely been some pretty big feature improvements in Moss Book 2. One of the things that we like to sort of put at the center of our efforts is making sure that we're building on the physical interaction of the first game. Reaching into the world and interacting with devices and enemies and with Quill is really, it's a unique part of VR, and it's something that our players have loved. They've loved interacting with Quill and helping her get through these worlds, and so we've expanded the number of things that you can interact with in the world. More things are going to react to just you and Quill moving through the world. Like plants will move and the grass kind of sways as she moves through it. And then there's also new abilities that you as the reader have that you'll gain as you progress through the story. And you sort of earn these new abilities that help you accomplish your task. You have an ability to actually paint vines on surfaces and help Quill climb up those vines, and then you can also draw a bridge of vines from certain points in the map, and it'll create a bridge that Quill can then run across, and then, or maybe you actually need to drag an enemy across it. With all of these new mechanics and all of these new ways to reach into the world, the puzzles are more intricate and the combat is more intricate and more involved, and you'll be, reaching in to interact with things while you're actually, engaged in combat. And then, of course, the battle with Sarfog at the end of the first game, this big set piece moment with this very large enemy. We have more of that in the second game as well, because there's more threats, and these threats are quite serious, as players will find. Quill will be, gaining access to new abilities and new weapons, just like the player will be gaining access to new abilities, and the player will take them with them, and Quill will take her weapons with her. And that opens up a whole new world for puzzles that you might not be able to solve in the first time you're in the room. And so you'll notice something that's off limits, and it's pretty obviously off limits, and you think to yourself, wow, there's really no way I can get there. And then you might notice a hint on the ground, like there's some strange marking here. I'm not sure what that means. And so then you play through the game a little bit more, and you find out that, you'll gain an ability that, sort of click, and players will realize, I can use this to get around to areas that have been inaccessible before. And then we're going to take you back on a path, on the main path, and give you opportunities to pass by those areas, and then invite you to explore them. So it's all been sort of a very deliberate effort to give the player branches where they can go explore, and then help them get back to the main path in a way that hopefully isn't too much of a slog, or doesn't feel like a chore. We've just been kind of earmarking it as like 1.5 times the size of Moss 1. So it should feel like a longer game. I think it's kind of like a good way to think about it, because If you're a person who beat Moss really fast, you might be a skilled gamer. You might just be able to pick up all the mechanics right off the bat and just solve the puzzles quickly. There's definitely that. Like, we have those types of players in the studio, and we have them play testing the game all the time as well. And so we try to make the game smooth. We try to make it fun to play quickly. But it's going to kind of be a representation of like, how long did you take to play it? To sort of think of this game as like 1.5 times longer than that.
Thanks for checking out the video. If you want to get exclusive access to my full interview with Coolie before it officially goes live on the channel, feel free to head on over to patreon.com/withoutparolegames and sign up for the $5 monthly tier.